Okay. Yo.
Hey, yo. Let's see. I think everything ready to rock on here.
We rocking, man.
It's still starting right now.
Okay.
But yeah, man. Here we go right here. We ready. Okay, cool.
Hey, this is the camera, but we going good.
Hey.
King Book.
Hey. Fuck with the camera, bro. Who, me? What I do? I ain't touch on that.
What's going on, man? How
Hey,
y'all
what's
doing
going
tonight?
on, man? Hey, this is AJ the Franchise.
It's King Book.
Hey, man, and this is Talking Real Spill Podcast.
Yeah, man. We coming at you one more time, spitting some real game, put some fat on your brain.
Right. And we just coming to y'all, man, just, giving y'all a little bit about, how to assess properties. That's going to be mainly the topic today. How to assess properties and the different financial ways that you can go about, getting loans and stuff for properties. Different real estate investments. Yeah,
last time, we went into depth about the whole process of wholesaling. So today we're coming back with a little bit more details of, it isn't just magic. You don't want to just go out there and lock up any property and every property, because you're still going to be one, them people still going to have that problem because you ain't sold it. You got to lock it up for the right price. So the only way you'll be able to do that is to assess it correctly. And, it's a lot into assessing the property. You got to know the area. But before that, you got to even know what kind of property you got.
Right.
You got to know if you got you a single family or if it's a multi-family.
Right.
Or if it's a commercial property. You know what I'm saying? What is the code of it? So that way you know exactly how you might need to structure a deal with it.
Right. Definitely. And, just to hop, bandwagon that, like, whenever you do, look at these properties, you also want to know how to go about, repair costs on properties. You also want to know, like, what the ARVs are for the properties. These are just small things that, if when you ready to present it to a buyer, that these are the little things that they're gonna be looking for. Like, what's the repair cost? What's the ARV? What's the structure like on the property? It's just little stuff like that. They may want to know just like how old the roof is, the bill of the property. Has the pipes ever been changed out? Electricity, so it's a lot of little things that, it's good to know about when assessing property.
Man, you really touched on a lot of the hot spots as far as how to get it locked up, because if you get it locked up under that what we call golden 70%,
right,
or now in more competitive markets, if you get in a competitive market, you got to go to 75% of the ARV.
Right.
But when you're trying to assess their property and you're looking at that equation, you also have to account for the repairs. So more accurate that you are on how the repairs are, that's going to let you know if you're going to get that deal. So the key things, like you said, the roof, the plumbing, the foundation, those are usually going to be your key hot spots. If that roof gone, that's going to be the good 10 grand. The plumbing, different values are there. And it's good to have at least a good contractor, somebody that you trust, that'll kind of help you assess, especially when you're just starting off. I can walk some properties with some guys, and they just walking through, just saying numbers, pointing at different properties, pointing at different items, you know what I'm saying, in the house, saying exactly what it's going to cost. Like we said, those key things, roof, plumbing, and then obviously the foundation. But you also want to go detailed into the sheetrock, and then the kitchen, and then the bathroom. Them going to be the next biggest money consuming project that's going to be getting the property to HGTV ready.
Yeah, definitely. Like you were saying, like that flooring, that tile, that countertops, sink, refrigerator, small appliances and stuff like that. All of that matters.
And with that, you also have to again know the market, because if you in an area where you can just throw some newer countertops, they don't necessarily have to be marble. They don't necessarily have to be, whatever the portion of the top tier it is, or it don't necessarily have to be wooded throughout the house. In certain areas where it's okay to kind of go in basically just enough. You know, you don't have to make it 2021. You can make it 2019, and it's gonna sell because that's what's going on in the area. And then you know, if you're in a high end area, you know you can't be cutting no corners.
Exactly.
You know you have to come in straight, top of the line, luxury, and it's all in the fixtures. It's all in the fixtures. That's what those high end buyers will tell you. You know, the details is what really matters.
Right. And like another thing is just knowing, like, you know, if the property has ever been in a flood zone. You know, has the property ever been flooded before? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that, a lot of investors that look for, you know, that is the house being flooded or how many times has it been flooded? You know, so that's also a big key thing that buyers are looking for. You know, they want to know that detail about that.
Some buyers won't even buy. They won't even look at a property that's in the flood zone. So knowing that off top is very important.
Yeah,
it's very important. And the reason behind it is very, very difficult to get a lot of the permits and the criteria and the process to get it the grade of the land a certain level, and then you have to build it so high up, you know, for it to pass those qualifications. So a lot of people just don't want to deal with those headaches straight like that.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of these new bills, they are uprising the properties because of the flooding issues and because of, you know, the other issues that we have in Houston as far as, like, you know.
Man, to add on to the big list of many things,
exactly.
flooding in Houston is a big problem, and it used to be just certain areas, but now, I mean, it don't even matter where you stay. If it rains too much, you might have some problems. You might have some problems.
Yeah, so you know, that's just giving y'all a little game about, you know, what to look for when you assessing properties, when you doing your details on properties. Like we also told y'all in the past, like you also want to know, like, if there are any liens or any you know, tax liens on it, or, you know, back mortgage on it, or anything like that. You know, that can always stop a big process, you know, in closing, or, you know, just trying to get a deal done, period. Because you might have a good property at a good price and everything, but then boom, at the title company, they find out, you know, it's a lien on the property, or it's some money owed, and we can't get nothing closed until we handle those issues. So that's another big thing.
That definitely, I was thinking of saying it won't stop your property, but it definitely will, and it reminds me of an experience that I had just last year. At the end of the year, we had a property. It was a piece of land real close to downtown. The seller, he was in San Antonio. Older guy, a reverend of a church. He really didn't have any ties to it. Hey, sell it. Here it is down the line. I got the buyer, I got the seller, I got all the documents at the title company. Well, unfortunately, because it was in the process of selling it to his daughter, well, technically the title did transfer to his daughter's name.
Okay.
That was good, but bad for everybody because his daughter was incarcerated at the time. She had did something that I don't even know, but she did something that got her locked up. And in the process of whatever she did, they put $100,000 lien on their property. So, needless to say, their property is still there, not sold, because anybody who purchased it, there's $100,000 price tag on it. I had the property locked up at a wonderful number. I think I was gonna make probably about $12,000 on it, and I had the buyer ready to go. All the pieces was in place, but because I didn't know that small part, that intricate part, that deal just didn't go through. So that's real important, you know. And sometimes it may not be $100,000; it may just be a $9,000 lien, and you just have to kind of squeeze that in to where the seller will have to eat that in his profits. Very seldom we be able to negotiate with the buyer that hey, we need, in order to get this going, we got a tag on this. If it's that big of a property, if it's that profitable of a property, then they'll be willing to do that.
Okay. Yeah, man, that's good game right there, y'all. And I also want to dive into like you know, just knowing the differences between vacant property and occupied property. You know, dealing like with those tenants, those are in place whenever it comes to guys like us, the wholesalers that's really that's trying to get the you know, the property shown to other investors. It's kind of, you know, hard sometimes to show properties when you got tenants, living in the property, and sometimes they make it a little difficult on you. Just as far as like showing the property out to the investors and stuff like that. So I mean, I done had plenty of experiences myself where, I had like tenants that was like, oh well, we don't want nobody coming through the house, and I just don't feel safe about this, and I understand, due to what's going on right now with the COVID thing, but I just feel like that's always somewhat of an issue sometimes. Sometimes it's a good thing, but sometimes, you get those bumps in it to where it make it a little harder for you to show property,
Yeah. You had asked the question, what's the difference is? Well, the difference is it's a headache sometimes when the property is occupied because of that reason alone.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the owner of the property doesn't stay there. It's a landlord, so he got some tenants.
Exactly.
They may not be ready to move yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So here it is. You got something in paperwork saying that this owner is going to sell the property, but the tenants will want to make it difficult.
Right.
They don't want to allow with no showing. They want to be an inconvenience to the whole process.
Yeah, no pictures. Taking the property.
And this is all a part of the wholesale deal, but it'll make you look bad if you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like here it is, you got the buyers and you knocking at the door and you see his cars there and they don't want to let you in.
Yeah.
That's it's funny, but then it's situations like that, that definitely happen. And here it is, you gotta put a smile on your face and play it because you don't know if you're gonna get inside.
Exactly.
You don't know what's gonna happen. You just hoping that these people get tired of knocking on the door. They just gonna go ahead and let us in. You know what I'm saying? But I done been in all kind of situations like that. I think we had one over there in Sperry Gardens or something like that. If you remember?
Oh, I do.
That big, huge brick house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And just on the vacant side of property too, everything don't always go well on the vacant side. We done had properties where we had to like get locksmiths and stuff, just to open properties. Find just ways to get inside the property. Right. So it's not always just an easy ride just having a vacant property because you want to make sure that there's maybe a lockbox on it or somewhere a key is put around somewhere to where you are able to show these properties whenever it's time to get something done. So
in comparison, it's not always sweet either way it goes. But my experiences, I tend to like unoccupied properties because I can go and come in my leisure. I can go and take pictures as many times as I want. I can even tell somebody, hey, that side door, if you lift up on it, you can only end up in the end. Little situations like that. Basically, it's access 24/7. Now again, you might have somebody up in there, so walk up in there with your hand on it. But it's always access to the property, so that just makes it easier to sell and get buyers in and out.
Definitely. And that's just a little bit about the differences between vacant properties and occupied properties. We just wanted to dive into that a little bit and just give y'all just the ins and outs about that. Because we do have our own experiences and we just giving y'all something to look forward to. If y'all ever came across those problems.
So that other stuff you was talking about, I mean, this isn't. I'm gonna say this isn't magic. Although you can make a lot of money of it, it really opens up when you start getting access to funds to kind of further these projects. Whenever you start stepping outside of the wholesale role, where now you are the end buyer and you are the one that's taking on this fix or flip or this buy and hold. It isn't that hard to get started, and some of these options that we have with the funding. I mean, if you're anywhere near the real estate arena, you've heard of hard money loans. You know what I mean? Basically,
hard money loans.
But hard money loans more so they just high interest rate loans. And usually you want to get those to fund a project that you don't plan on having a long time. So you want to go ahead, complete a project. Let's say in less than a year. You want to be moving that fast. We're talking about 6 to 8 months. You don't want to be holding on or trying to use a hard money loan for any longer than a year. So the quicker you get done with that, then that's what makes that profitable. And then you were beginning to mention the private money loans. Now those are a bit more flexible because again, they can be just a great aunt, uncle, a friend, anybody that's have the capital that are just lended, or
Right.
there are different private money companies. There are private money firms. They call hedge funds. Some of them are called hedge funds, which just have access to large numbers of capital that will fund your deal if it makes sense. You know, and that's basically based on the repair value. After repair value, what the property is worth once you make some repairs. Those are asset-based loans. You know, to go even more in depth, where it's not even based on your credit. You know, so that opens up the door to a lot of different avenues, because sometimes stuff happens.
Yeah.
You ain't got the best credit. You know, you probably had that 720, that 715, something happened, now you looking at that 590.
Right.
So, I mean, that don't mean that you can't jump into and still do some real estate investing. You know, if you find that unicorn out there, because in this market, it's basically a unicorn for you to find a property that's discounted, that below value, and it's still that much amount of meat on the bone. But, they're out there.
Deals,
They are out there. If you find that deal and you can take some of these private money loans and get an asset-based loan, you can essentially come to the table with no money down, and then they'll be able to fund the purchase of the property and the repair of the property.
So just to ask you, a little question for the people at home that might have a question amongst this. How much percentage in what they call that, and I think what they charge, I heard like they charge maybe 5% on some loans, or they'll charge a certain percentage of what you
talking about the hard money loans?
Or any type of loans like
well,
that.
it varies. Usually between the hard money loans, I think they it's high right now. I think they 8 to 12, you know what I'm saying, and on up. I think anything higher than like 15 to 20, that's
and
usually
that's on the interest side.
On the interest side, 15% interest on whatever it is that you are asking for. So once you develop relationships, they're more flexible, they're more lenient on those interest rates. But typically, they really trying to max you out.
Right.
But that is where you, as an investor, come into play and say, I already have a game plan to where I'm not gonna be paying a lot of interest on this property because I'm gonna be completed and I'm gonna have it sold to where I don't owe that. So you just have to basically plan on every aspect of it. And sometimes that can be hard to do. Something go wrong, and now you gotta go back to the drawing board.
Right, exactly. And like you actually taught me a lot, just about this loan stuff, because in my experience, like I'm doing wholesaling right now, but my next venture is to start doing fix and flips, is to start doing rentals, buying homes. So I just just for that little game that you gave me about loans, now I kind of know a little bit more. Like if I wanted to go buy a property off an auction, or I just found a low cheap property, now I know like it's different avenues and ways that I can go about getting funded, for that property, to buy the property, to have repair costs added into it and everything I need, and still just knowing, what those interest rates might be, and, all of those stuff that falls in line with it. So, I feel like you gave a lot of game just on just that the other side of the real estate game, not just the wholesaling side, but this is like the buyer side of it. Whenever you like when he said, when you get these properties and you ready to do a fix and flip, or you ready to throw a little bit into it just to put some rentals in it, So like I said, that's definitely game right there, and that's definitely my next venture of trying to go in real estate.
If you remember, and this is again sharing experiences. This is what I'm doing. I can't speak on for nobody else. This is what I think. I think wholesaling is the stepping stone to getting into real estate investing. And once you get that established, once you get that, you don't necessarily have to get it mastered. You can continue to wholesale through your whole real estate investing career.
It's not always wholesale.
It's not. And so to me, it's the perfect investor when he can have 3 flips going on. He has 4 single family rentals. He has 2 multifamily rentals, and he's actively wholesaling. Like, I mean, that's the ultimate goal, and that's what I'm trying to get to. That's exactly what I'm trying to do, because I see the benefit of having different things going on. You know, some of those avenues are long term income producing. Some of those are short term capital building producing. You know, so you just gotta find your niche and then just continue to build on it. But wholesaling being the stepping stone, and then diving into, you know, some people solely focus on fix and flips. They don't do both. You know, they
just rentals.
Or just rentals. Yeah, they
just
have
Airbnbs. You know? Yeah. So it is just about like finding your niche and what you want to do in real estate, because like I said, there's a lot of people that just only focusing on that. I have a guy, actually one of my close friends, he didn't know anything about real estate. He took a class and you know, had a little mentor and stuff, but the knowledge that he got was mainly on a fix and flip side of it. He didn't really know the wholesale game. So when he came into it, he actually bought a property and he had to bring a little bit to the table, but you know, he still got his own property now. And I commend him all the time, like, man, I feel like you doing something that I wasn't doing. Like you a little bit ahead of the game, you know. But we also talk a lot, and I teach him a lot, you know, just about the wholesaling side, and he teaches me a lot about the, you know, the loan side and how to get this done, and you know, who to connect with, you know, and stuff like that. So it's good to always, you know,
have somebody on your team that's like that. That, and basically everything that we're talking about, it's always good to have somewhat of a mentor, somebody who has some type of experience in the game, you know, because going out there in green, I don't care what type of person you are, you're going to get ate up. You're going to get ate up. You know what I'm saying? It's too competitive. It's too many people that's moving super fast, and ain't nobody giving nothing away. You know what I'm saying? The fact that we up here saying the things that we saying, like, that's big time, because ain't nobody giving out none of this information away. They were always trying to be able to get it sold to you.
Try to put a price tag on it and stuff.
I mean, ain't nothing wrong with, you know, trying to profit off the knowledge, but hey, it's a way to do everything. In my opinion, we're not in a position to just be trying to charge our people for the information that we're giving. We really need to do this so we can kind of level the playing field with what's going on in society. You know, this is definitely the best asset producing, in my opinion. If you can master this along with other strategies like Forex, which we're gonna talk a lot about, and then even more so, you start using your money, getting at your transportation and building up these trucking companies. Like I mean, it's a platform that
And just to go off of what you were saying, like with real estate will always be around. And if you look at any millionaire or billionaire, they always got something like real estate involved into how they got their money, how big, you know, they always, because they always, you know, invested in real estate. So I felt like real estate will always be a good thing to dive into, because it's never gonna go anywhere. And also appreciation on properties like go up, they don't never go down. So you know, little stuff like that, you know, that you know, I just wanted to jump on.
Right. You know? Nah, even if you check on what's going on now, a lot of the entertainers, a lot of the stars, you know, rappers, bro. I'm seeing. I remember when DJ Envy was talking about he about to. Now he going around starting up classes and going all across the country. You know, talking about real estate investing.
From DJ Envy. Because he been doing it.
Right. Yeah, he has been doing it, but he's just one of a lot of people who kind of took some interest in that. But I just remember seeing when, and I don't remember exactly who it was. It may have been Jay Morris, but somebody kind of exposed him to it, and then he just took off. He just took off. So I mean, and to me, like when people with money are making moves like that, it only makes sense to pay attention. Yeah, you gotta pay attention.
Pay attention, man, because like I said, that's a big money moving thing, and it's great for assets. Like, you know, that's something that I always appreciate.
That's wealth.
Long term wealth. That's building wealth for your kids, and you know, just leaving something in their name just after you gone. You know, they always can have properties. You know, something that's, you know, valuable outside of just, you know, depending on them going to work.
Right.
Like
and just
something to fall back on.
I really want to break that down, because some people may get that mixed up. What is an asset? That's a simple word, but to really understand what an asset is, an asset not a car. It's not no pair of shoes. It ain't no clothes. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that luxury apartment. You know, nothing wrong with renting, but just understand that's not an asset. An asset is something that's income producing, or better yet, it's not necessarily income producing, but it appreciates. You know, it's gonna bring value. You know, we talking about real estate. You know, you talk about certain like diamonds or jewelry. And even to a point of where we gonna get, we ain't nowhere near yet. But art, you know, things of that, like that's going to appreciate with value. You know, so we got to start making moves that's beneficial down the road. Having that new car that once you buy, you done spend $50,000. I'm gonna give it to you. I want to take my truck back right now. I'm gonna say that right there. Dodge can have that bad boy right now. You know, the fact that I this big old note that I got, and I'm liable for it. You know, but the amount of money that I paid for it, I can't get that back. Like I can't go sell that truck and get the exact amount of money that I paid for it. I gotta take less. So with that mentality, I gotta start really thinking and moving smarter. Like, okay, if I'm gonna make a large purchase, it gotta be something that's gonna be either it's gonna be increasing over time, or it's gonna be income producing. I even taking a step further. I'm a homeowner. You know what I'm saying? And with that mortgage, I pay for it. Right now, it's not an asset. It's not an asset. So when I pay that big old, however much money it is a month, that's my biggest expense. So until I transfer it to whether I either refinance it or I get some renters in there, that is not an asset. You know what I'm saying?
And just for you having that mindset of, you know, knowing, you know, what's that asset and what's not, and what you could be doing and what you could be making, you know, off of what you already got right now. So, you know, that's just good, you know, just to know your differences about what's, you know, an asset and what's not. Because we do kind of get that mindset of thinking like those shoes and those cars are assets to us. And, you know, we just trying to get y'all in a different mindset of, you know, trying to explore your different options of getting wealth, you know, in the future. And, you know, that's all we was coming with, y'all. And that was our topic for today, was about, you know, that's knowing how to assess properties and, you know, the different loans and investments that you can go about, you know, dealing with real estate. And we'll dive a little bit more back into it, you know, on our other shows, but we just wanted to give y'all, you know, just those two today. And I just think, you know, we did give a lot of game, but, you know, just to continue on, you like, I do want to thank Sassa, you know, for giving us this platform. You can catch us all the time on El Sassa Radio, El Sassa Podcast on Tuesday and Thursdays. For any sellers, any wholesalers, any buyers, you know, that's looking for properties, any sellers that's trying to sell properties, and the wholesalers that got deals that's trying to get it moved. You can always reach us on our Facebook page under Talking Real Spill Podcast, or you can hit us up on Instagram under Talking Real Spill Podcast. Really, all platforms. We're on there. As far as YouTube goes, we are adding more content to the page, so we did change it up. We was under the collaboration at first, but we had to change it, and now it's just under Talking Real Spill Podcast. So you just, you know, put that in the search bar and you'll find it.
Man, we really gonna be coming at y'all. We in the beginning stages. You know, we appreciate the ones that's starting with us, but it has the possibility of becoming something big and great because of what we bring to the table. We are active wholesalers, real estate investors, you know what I'm saying, crossing over, being able to do all of them. So again, like he was saying, any deals that you're trying to get out, or any deals that you you know, you need some assistance with, don't let your pride get in the way of letting this money be made. You know, it's enough money going around. Houston is very competitive, and what we've always preached from the beginning is collaboration over competition. Collaboration over competition. You know what I'm saying? So, again, we're very appreciative of the platform that we have, and we'll be coming at y'all a lot about just different things that's gonna benefit the community, benefit yourself, and put us in a good situation.
Right. And until the next discussion, y'all, this is AJ the Franchise
King Book,
and this is Talking Real Spill Podcast. Y'all, we'll catch y'all Thursday.
All right, man. Y'all be cool.
This is the